Overeaters Anonymous, everybody would go out and eat at a restaurant. And I don't know, I just thought that seemed so, if I had run that group, I think we should have all like gone to bowl or all gone to do some kind of physical activity, not go out to eat. And so I didn't like Overeaters Anonymous. Great on what? Yeah, just wait till I have made my book. I'm going to find the grossest picture of myself. And then I'm 10 pounds heavier than I normally am. I'm normally leaner, but I always gain weight in the winter. I'm about 150 pounds now, but I'm very muscular. I don't know if you can tell. I'm just like a big ball of muscles. And I like it that way because we lose so much of our muscle as we age. So I'm not going to let that happen to me. Anyway, yes, it was ridiculous that we went out to eat. I don't know what you mean, White Lotus. I think that's a TV show, isn't it? I'm 5'6". Thank you. But look at, that was my uncle. He was a child psychiatrist. He specialized in anxiety in children in Boston. And I had so much respect for him. A really good man. He truly tried to help people. And I wanted to look decent and have him feel proud of me. And I was so ashamed of how I looked. And he's not alive anymore. But I wish he could have seen. Well, and I wear a size 4, but it's because I'm muscular. Ladies, when you're muscular, you can weigh a lot more and you can eat more and still maintain your physique if you're muscular. You can't be afraid to lift weights. I love weightlifting. Botanical Girl chain. Yes, and this whole journey. Well, thank you. That's very sweet of you, Danny. Seemed you were gaining weight in that. Yes, I always thought I was a pear shape because you're right. I had a huge ass and my legs were enormous, but yet I always kind of had a waist, so I have other pictures and you can see how big my stomach was. And when my stomach got big, I knew my lower body. And so my sizes, I was a 20, well, actually when I got that fat, I was just a size 26 everywhere. Yeah, I was probably depressed, the person that said that about split ends. I got up to 250. That was when I stopped weighing myself. I don't think I got up much more than 250, but I remember thinking, why am I weighing myself? I don't even want to know. But yes, I gain weight in my lower body. And even now, I have big legs and my butt isn't exactly little. But I like being muscular. I like having strong legs. I think it's an advantage having strong legs. As we get older, I'm not going to be one of those little old women that have little pencil stick legs and they trip and break their hip. No, I have strong legs and that won't happen to me. I want to be as strong as possible. No, I didn't have a tummy tuck. I had what's called a transverse abdominis, where they pulled up all that skin, and I had about 3.6 pounds of skin removed. So Tammy, it was basically like a tummy tuck, but it was more than that. My exercise routine has vastly changed as I've gotten older. What I've learned, it really doesn't matter what you do. Don't let yourself feel pigeonholed into thinking, oh, I have to do Pilates or I have to do. You do what you enjoy. Because if you don't enjoy it, you're not going to keep doing it. You need to do what you love. If it's hula hooping or roller skating or ice skating or just walking, whatever you enjoy is what you should do. And that's good enough. I'm 57. Do I cheat on who? I never cheated on anyone. I'm 57. No, oh, you mean my ex? No, I finally filed for divorce, and that's a nightmare. It was a nightmare. I'm gonna get some water. Sorry, realized how thirsty I am. And that's something else that I became cognizant of, is that I wasn't paying attention to myself. When I was raising my 3 sons, and I still have one with me, everything was for them. My whole life revolved, I made them first over all of my needs and wants. The music that we listened to was kids' music. The shows that we watched, kids' shows. I never went out with other women. I never had girls' night out, ever. And in the end, I realized that wasn't good. So, but I was like that because I had such a crummy childhood, and so I didn't want my kids to, I wanted to be a different kind of mom than what I had. But what I was trying to say is, you need to pay attention to yourself, how you feel. Are you thirsty? Are you hungry? Right, you have to take care of yourself to help others. You made me want to. Well, thank you, Mary. I wish we were friends. I wish I had girlfriends that, I need to be inspired too. And people think, and this is a generalization, but in general, people probably think, oh, well, she thinks she's so great and now she's got it made. No, I struggle every single day with my eating still. So it's not like you lose it, you fight to lose it. It took me 3 years. It's not like all of a sudden everything just clicks. It's a constant evolution. At least it was for me. But I have very profound eating issues. That's in this picture. In this picture, this is me and my uncle, who was a child psychiatrist. I don't know why I'm telling you guys that, but in his house in Gloucester, Boston. He lived on the ocean. He was a really good man. And but thank you, Mary. I was thinking about, oh, no, I wasn't diabetic. And diabetes is in my family. I don't know how I didn't become diabetic, but I had a lot of other issues that came out, so to speak, because of my obesity. I had fatty liver disease. I got sick constantly, and my doctor thought that it was because I was so heavy. I kept getting, bronchitis, and wheezed, but all of that went away after I lost weight. Well, thank you. Oh my gosh, his house was something. He lived right on the ocean. He was very well to do, but he's not alive anymore. Most importantly, he was a good man. That's what matters, is your character. That's what matters. I naturally lost, well, I take that back. I had a lap band, LAPBAND, and I don't know if you can see the scar right there, but it constricted my stomach. I don't know, women are kind of, I'm not going to say that, but I had a lap band for about 5 years. The lap band didn't change my brain. All of this knowledge that I have is from living it. It's from life experience. It's from over 3 decades of trying to lose weight and failing and what I've learned. The lap band didn't change my brain. All the lap band did was constrict my stomach. And I continued to overeat. And I threw up all the time. My oldest son used to say, I can hear it in my mind, "Mama, pit up again, Mama, pit up again," telling my middle son that I was throwing up again. I remember throwing up in the garbage can in this big pantry we had. And because I didn't change how I ate. I just had something around my stomach that prevented me from, and so I always felt kind of hungry. It was horrible. Lap band was horrible. And if you can change the way you think, you can succeed. It is not easy. It's not easy to do. It has to be extremely important, and you have to be willing to make sacrifices. But if I can, you can. And yes, I did snore. And if it's boring, please just go somewhere else. Go to someone else that inspires you. I don't want you to be bored. Thank you for saying that about my accomplishments as overeaters. We sometimes eat. Yes, that's exactly, yeah. Well, eating was my coping skill. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I never did drugs. I was I was very clean living, very a goody-goody, whatever you want to call it. Just very clean, decent human being. And I didn't do any of that. Not that there's anything wrong with drinking. I just didn't like drinking. So anyway, food was my go-to for everything. Yes, that's exactly what I'm doing. Thank you for telling that person. I'm still not. Well, Patty, I would love to help you. I hope you follow me. And I'm trying to. I've been figuring out what outline I'm going to create for my book. And I was going to do a book about how to, but I decided what I'm going to do is just tell my story. Because maybe through telling my story about how I lost weight, maybe that will help other people understand themselves and what drives them and compels them and what their monsters or demons are. For me, overeating, I don't even take. Me too. Is it City By? I want to call you a name. But yes, me too. And when I would binge or overeat, whatever you want to call it, I would go into a trance. And for people that don't have issues with food, that probably sounds strange, but it put me in a trance and it made me feel better. It was my escape from reality. I have had a lot of excess skin. I had to have 2 surgeries, Mary. I had them done at the same time. I was scared because it was a long surgery. But I had a brachioplasty, which is my arms. I don't know if you can, I think you can see that on both arms. And then I had what's called a 360 or transverse abdominis. And I had 3 C-sections, so it's very low. They went all the way around my body and lifted up that skin. And that was a big deal. It's painful. I mean, there's no getting around it. Now, with the surgery, what was, besides the pain, was what I didn't like was the lymph bags that I had to wear and that had to be changed. Before I had that surgery, I didn't know people had to have lymph bags for their skin removal surgery. And I remember I couldn't wait to stop wearing the lymph bags. It was just, I didn't like it. My aunt acted the same in her and lost weight, but she was in prescription pills. Well, has she kept it off? Because if she used prescription pills and then just stopped, she's a very remarkable person if she was able to keep it off. That's my opinion, of course. But happy Black History Month to you too. I thought it was in January. I guess it is February. The time just passes so quickly. It's just unbelievable. Anyway, this is a picture of me with my uncle. I was in the 200s, and I'm showing you this to let you know if I can lose weight, you can too. What I'm looking at, I have all mounds of pictures to go through. Tell your biography. Your book will help so many. Juneteenth. What did I do? I took baby steps. T.T. Smith, I took baby steps because it was so daunting to me. I felt like such well, my husband used to tell me I was worthless, but I did feel worthless, that I couldn't lose weight and that I was so heavy and I was a bystander in my own life. I could hardly walk. It's like should be a movie, what I've been through. I literally wore a brace from my knee to the end of my toes just so I could walk. So I had to just walk, very short walks when I was in my mid-40s and started to finally figure out, and I say figure out how to lose it. Started walking, then running, and cut out. That's the way to do it. Cutting out the processed foods, for me, is still very difficult. In the end, I don't know, he's a covert narcissist, and he would never admit something like, I don't want to have anything to do with him. All that matters is that you find an activity that you enjoy, some kind of exercise, whether it's roller skating, jumping rope, hula hooping, dancing, fitness classes. There's so many different ways to be active. Don't think that you have to do someone else's workout. You don't. Whatever you do has to be what you love, not what you think someone else does that works for them. What I do might be absolutely the wrong thing for you. You need to experiment and find out what you like. Thank you. Find out what you like, and then a variety of different kinds of activity, of course, is good for you. Now, weightlifting is non-negotiable for me. I lift weights a good 5 days out of the week, and I can feel the endorphins go to my brain almost immediately when I lift weights. I love lifting weights. I think it's fun to lift weights. At least I tell myself that. No, I'm not just saying that to myself. I really do love lifting weights, and I have a lot stacked against me with my biology of being so obese. But one good thing that I have is that I put on muscle very easily, and I can see results in the gym very quickly, which is pretty unusual for a female to put on muscle. I've had a lot of people think that I'm a fitness pro, and somebody the other day said I should do IFBB. I think I could do it if I really tried to. I'm not trying to brag, but it's one of the good things that I do have is that I put on muscle easily. So you have to focus on your positive. Figure out what your strengths are, and you have to do a lot of soul searching. At least I did. It's very hard being overweight. Yes, I was depressed the entire time I was overweight. I had very little joy in my life except for my sons. And I made my entire life about my sons, which wasn't very smart for me, because now they're all older and I have empty nest syndrome, and I wish I could do everything all over again, but I guess we all wish that. Where is my music? If you're just joining, this is a picture of me. Let's see, Paul Mask. I don't know what that person. This is a picture of me. I have so many other pictures. Of course, now that I'm on the spot, I put myself on the spot. Here I am. Now, someone was very smart earlier. Look at how weird my chin looks in this picture. Doesn't it look like my chin is moving in the picture? And people say to me, "Are you using a filter? Because your face is moving." No, I'm not using a filter, but for some weird reason, it does that glitching. But can you tell that's so weird? Yes, I had surgery. Anyway, you can see that I was rotund. Do you see how I can't even point to the right thing? I always thought I was a pear shape. I always was much bigger on the bottom than at the top. So for me to be that big at the top, look at my arms. I mean, my stomach. And you can see my butt was the biggest of all. I have had surgery, and I did have skin removal surgery. I did. And actually, there's another surgery that I want to do. And I've just had so much going on in my life that I haven't had. It's not a priority. Here's a picture of me when I was wearing my brace. Okay, here's a picture of me when I was wearing my brace. I mean, I know you can see it, and what it did to me was make me kind of walk like I had a peg leg, because my left foot and ankle collapsed when I had my second son. And so I couldn't move. I couldn't, we have our ankle bone, duh, of course. I couldn't move it. I had to just walk like I had a peg leg. Then my left calf atrophied because of that. I've had my left foot and ankle reconstructed 2 times. I was starting to talk about something. Thank you. I don't know if I have video of me when I had my brace or not, but thank you, Beefcake. But the reason, here I am visiting my uncle. That ring light makes it hard to see. For me, there are a lot of people that give excellent advice and have excellent information about weight loss. I tried to lose weight for over 3 decades. I'm actually a very intelligent person, and I'm very driven, and I was successful in other areas of my life, very successful. Yet, despite incredible desire to lose over 100 pounds, I couldn't do it. What does that tell you? It told me something was inherently wrong, and I knew it was. And there was more to it, far more to it, than just following a meal plan and exercising. And when I was 45, I told myself this was going to be the last time that I was going to do this. I felt so battered and I felt so battered and defeated, depressed. I mean, I don't want to bring people down, but I'm brutally honest. I'm an extremely honest person. So anyway, I took micro baby steps, and I say micro baby because they weren't just baby steps. They were itty bitty changes that I could tolerate, because you can't go from this to be a normal weight. Just, it's not like all of a sudden I knew how to eat, I knew how to cope with life and the world and my compulsions and being upset or angry or eating my emotions. It's not like just all of a sudden I just figured it all out. No, I created new habits very, very, very slowly, that were so slowly I could tolerate it. And I say tolerate because it was very painful for me to lose weight. I love eating. I love it. If someone put a bag of goldfish crackers, I would, inhale 2 bags very quickly. I used to do that. So I had to figure out a lot of things in order to be able to lose weight and keep it off. It sure would have been nice if I hadn't been so heavy here. I'm sure I would have been a much happier person. That's my oldest son. It's really very sad. I mean, my life has been pretty tragic, to be honest. I wanted to lose weight. I wanted to be a healthy weight. It's not like I wanted to be skinny. I didn't want to be skinny. I just wanted to be healthy. I just wanted to be able to walk and go to amusement parks and be able to sit, oh, thank you, and be able to sit in the roller coaster seat and the other seats. And you know when I went on an airplane, I didn't want to have to ask the flight attendant for, what is it, the lengthener for your seatbelt. I didn't, that's humiliating. I hated it. I hated it. And for someone to want to lose it so badly and to be so knowledgeable and to have spent a great deal of time, energy, and money, and yet I was not successful. What meals did you eat? Mary, the way I did it at first is very, I don't even know if I should tell you because it's so unorthodox and nothing I'd ever read. I finally listened to myself. I finally listened to my internal dialogue. I knew I wasn't going to all of a sudden be able to enjoy Brussels sprouts and broccoli. There's no way I was going to eat foods like that, to go from all that processed food and chocolate and cookies and ice cream sandwiches and ice cream. I don't even want to think about all of that. But to go from that to eating healthfully, impossible for me. Impossible. Thank you very much. And if you want to, Mary, I'll tell you privately something that I did that I'll put in my book, but I'm not going to say it here. I'm just not. But what I'm trying to say is listen to yourself. So how do I feel now? It's wonderful. And I'm still amazed every day that I'm not heavy. And I still feel like I need to wear a jacket to cover up my big butt like I used to when I go out in public, because my waist was pretty, you can't be 250 pounds and have a waist. But compared to the rest of my body, I had a small waist. So I would tie a black jacket. I can still see it in my mind's eye. And I would tie the black jacket and make it as tight as I could to try to accentuate what little waist I had. And then I would have it hang